Anyways, we got to talk about something. Hello and welcome to the Roundabout Podcast. This is episode 50. My name is Austin. With me, I have Michael, Hunter, Tyler. Mike, why do you sound like you're in a fishbowl?
Well, because I am.
Started off strong.
Have you been on this side of the tank?
I have no, actually, I've not been on this side of the tank. No, it has been an interesting week and a piece since we last talked. We doubled up last time we recorded, got a little ahead because I was moving. And boy, what a shit show that has been. So to start with, we'll go back about a week and a piece. My mom was supposed to come into town, help us start to pack or watch the kids while we packed, something to that effect. And my brother had a medical emergency. He's on the mend. Everything is getting better, but had a medical emergency that landed him in the hospital. And rightly so, my mom had to stay with him. And I'm glad she did, because this has ended up being a pretty major ordeal for him. And I'm glad she's there taking care of him. Well, you know, the moving thing, as frustrating as it all has been, his health issue is way worse, right? So I want to get that, clear the air on that right away, because she listens. So unfortunately, though, that put us a little bit behind, not having the extra set of hands. So it was a mad dash to get things recorded. We were originally going to record this podcast before the move, and I ended up bailing on y'all the day of or the night before. I don't remember, because we needed that time to pack. Come Thursday, we got almost everything packed, a lot of it anyway, and we continued working through the day. Movers get here, move all of our stuff, or a lot of our stuff anyway, and they have done a decent job, other than they absolutely killed the doors on our refrigerator.
Oh,
so that's gone.
Like scuffed up, or like they don't open?
No, it's still functional, but it's much more than a scuff. It's more like a gouge across the bottom two freezer drawers. It's pretty hefty. Pretty hefty.
what do they do about that? Do you just let it ride, or do they reimburse you in any way for that?
They gave us a little bit of money back. Not enough to do much about it, but, you know, I guess it's better than nothing.
It's not like you can call a repairman to just replace that part of the fridge door.
No.
Either replace the whole door or just get a new fridge at that point.
Just get a new fridge at that point.
Yeah, well, the money they give us back is not going to cover a new fridge. So we're going to just slap some magnets over it and deal with it.
Magnets, how do they work?
Magnets. It's a good question. So that was Thursday. The other thing that was supposed to happen on Thursday was that unnamed internet company, because I'm not going to give them... No, you know what? I am going to shame them.
Do it.
Google Fiber. Google Fiber was supposed to come out and install internet at our new house. Why got a call at the last minute that they were canceling our internet installation because they hadn't come out and dug the line yet.
Okay.
And so I now have no internet at this new house where, you know, I work from home. So I had to unpack some of my work PC, my personal PC, so we can do this, because the earliest date they could get back to me is next Sunday.
With a backhoe, hopefully.
With what? With a backhoe?
backhoe?
Maybe. I hope they're not digging us up with a backhoe. I'm going to be honest. It's a fiber optic line. It's not like they need a 6-foot trench to bury that.
Wait, so are you recording this podcast on phone Wi-Fi?
No, I am at the old house.
Okay.
On my internet there, but on a headset microphone in an empty room that echoes. I feel like I hear my echo through my headphones louder than I hear y'all talking to me.
This sounds like you sound like when ESPN reporters are like on location at a university and they've been staking out a story for 12 hours or something.
I kind of feel like I'm on location. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's exactly what you sound like. Like when, what was it? Marty Smith was staking out, I think it was the Lane Kiffin thing about where Lane Kiffin was going when he was leaving Ole Miss. He was there for like 18 hours or something, and everybody was like, let Marty go home. It sounds like that because you're just in a hall or in an empty room, just waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am sitting in a camping chair with my computer, monitors and everything set up on a folding table in an empty room with no refrigerator because we moved it. So I haven't had cold drinks or anything all day. But yeah, it's just dandy.
Really takes you back to your college years, huh?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it takes me back to episode 1 of the Roundabout podcast.
Yeah.
It sounds about the same audio quality as back then.
I will say even episode 1, I had a better microphone than this headset.
Yeah, but weren't y'all shotgun miking it back then?
Oh, you're talking about our old shows with Red and Dano.
I'm talking about Roundabout Pro episode 1.
No, we did
episode
that on
1, the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. No, we did that on the AT 2020s.
Okay. I thought y'all did that on a shotgun mic.
No, the ones we did on shotgun were... Well, no, actually, we even used the AT 2020s for those, but back when we used to do the video podcasts. And I didn't monitor our audio at that time. So those were really rough. No, episode 1, I think I just wasn't very good at editing at that point. So it doesn't sound very good. Like I didn't have a good mix going. But we were all in the same room and we were all on AT 2020s. So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, just different style from this where we're all separate and over Discord and 4 different types of microphones and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm excited that you're getting a new house. Not excited about the way Google seems to be operating these days.
Are they going to lay the line?
They've done that to me too.
Are they going to lay the line and set the router up and everything inside in the same day?
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? So on the phone, when they were canceling the thing, they told me, they'll come out Friday to bury the line. And then when they do that, then you should be able to get whatever the earliest available appointment is. Because I told the lady, who I can barely understand, I work from home. This is kind of a big deal. And that's what she told me. They'll be there Friday to bury the line. And then, then you can get the earliest appointment available during the week. But the earliest she could see in her system, because her system doesn't allow her to do emergency appointments, the earliest thing she could see is a week out at a minimum. Like she can't see anything more recent than that. So Friday rolls around, right? Movers are now moving our stuff into the house. Damaged walls. That's been really nice. Brand new house walls that I've now have to patch and repair.
Thank you, movers.
Yeah, it's been great. Really, really nice guys. But damn if they didn't tear up our stuff. And guess who didn't show up? Google. Austin didn't show up either, for what that's worth. None of you showed up.
I offered
on
3 separate occasions to come help you move, and you never took me up on it.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I thought I had a good moving company to help take care of it. And
I did. I offered on 3 separate occasions.
Yeah, what's your excuse, Brittle?
I live in Florida.
I live in Texas. What's your point? I'm further away.
Ha.
And you didn't show up either.
Yeah, and you still didn't show up. So the way I see it, we're still both in the same sinking boat.
Yeah, I would have taken you up on your offer, Tyler, if I had known it was going to go like that.
Yeah, no. Well, obviously, hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? I think that officially makes 4 podcast episodes that one of us has had to talk about our not just internet troubles, but our troubles with our internet companies, which are 2 entirely different things. I remember when I was dealing with mine, though, I had the same thing of telling them I work from home, which I almost felt pretentious when I did so. But the reaction I got from the person I was talking to was almost worse. It was like fake sympathy. It was like, oh, goodness, well, we better get this sorted for you. Like she didn't give a shit that I worked from home. and rightfully so. Maybe she shouldn't. It's not her problem, but still. So, yeah, I get it. It can be frustrating when it's not working and you're relying on it to do your job.
Yeah, so it is now Monday. As of this morning, at least, Google still hadn't shown up to lay the line. Now, I haven't been home since I, quote unquote, left for work this morning to drive from one house to the other to be able to work all day.
Welcome back to the commute life, buddy.
I know. 40 minutes, man. It's awful. At least I was able to drop the kid off at camp this morning, so that was good. But yeah, I mean, it's been frustrating. I haven't gone home yet. I stayed. I have some stuff to do around this house to get it ready to be on the market. So I did that, and then we're starting the podcast. So as soon as we finish this podcast, I'm going to jump in the car and drive across town to go to my internetless home for the night before I come back here in the morning to do it all over again.
Get a cot.
I would like to see my wife.
She can come visit.
Have visitation.
Yeah.
No, because we still have to unpack there too. I have stuff I've got to do at both places.
Did I tell you the issue I had whenever my internet switched over with Google, since we're name dropping them already?
Just trash them, tarnish them.
He opened up the door and I was like, I don't remember if I told this story as a part of my frustration with my internet switch over. So far, T-Mobile working great. Good on them. But it's been 3 weeks. So if they screw up in the first 3 weeks, I mean, they're really screwed. But whenever I got my internet switch over, part of the thing of the modern day is all the smart devices you have to set up for your new internet. And for some reason, Google is the most complicated company when it comes to this, because I have just like Govee lights, or those are the smart lights we use. And there's just a button that's just switched over your internet connection, and it's just reconnect to the new Wi-Fi, and it's good to go. Saves all of your settings, everything. It took me, I changed over, we have, I think 16 smart lights throughout this house. I changed all of them over in the span of 5 minutes. Whereas I have 4 Google cameras outside, a Google Hub, and a Ring doorbell, and then 2 speakers, two Google speakers. The first camera, after trying to set it up myself for 30 minutes, had to call Google support. And of course, they were like, did you do this setup? I was like, absolutely. Followed it to the letter. And they were like, while we're on the phone, will you just do it again? And I'm like, I'm already going to hate this call. Like, you have already said the worst thing you could say to me right now.
Yeah, basically, they don't believe you.
Right.
And it's
right. I don't like, why you think I'm going to like trick you? Like, I'm calling you.
I'm under 40. I know what I'm doing.
Not even that. Like, I'm calling you, and you think I'm going to lie to you. Like, your whole deal at this point is to trust what I am saying is happening on my end.
I'm the one that misses out if we don't have a solution here. Not
right.
You.
I'm in trouble.
I get so passive aggressive in those moments. So I'll be like, yeah, sure, I did it. Oh, look, surprise, nothing happened.
Dude, I was trying so hard. I was just trying to get the conversation moving along, because I got my new internet installed on a weekday, so I'm missing work. And I do remember talking about how like the kid who installed my internet was on a group call with his buddies talking about Call of Duty the whole time.
Yeah, he told us about that one.
He's locked in.
That was great. He ended up using a Sawzall to cut one of my bushes down to install the box.
Oh no!
And then use a
no.
He cut one of the bushes down outside the wall where he wanted to put the box. Just completely cut it at the base, and then also cut one of this tree like I didn't care about. And I think that's where he got the idea, because he goes, I can't get this line around this tree. And I'm like trying to help him, and it's getting caught. And I'm trying to tell the kid's like 22. And I'm like, look, we can just go over here. And he goes, no, I'll just cut this tree down. And I was like, I don't care. Like, and then he didn't even cut it down low. He cut it down like 8 feet in the air, like just enough to get the fiber cable over. So, whatever. I didn't care about that tree. It was like a very thin weed tree, so it already looked like crap anyways, but now it looks like even more
tree,
crap.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you growing over there?
Weed
I'm
grows on
calling
trees?
the police.
I don't think that's how that works, friend.
There are weeds that grow into trees. And say a weed bush would be something else. But you
didn't care because you then took all the scraps and rolled it,
basically. But already annoyed at like that guy. And so now I'm, after 30 minutes of trying to get my Google stuff set up, like I got the speaker set up, no problem. Got the hub. It was about a 10-minute thing and I had to figure it out myself. After trying to do the cameras, I was like, this is going to be a call I'm going to hate. An hour and a half I was on the phone with that man to connect one camera, not 4, 1, because a part of their whole thing is, did you go through this setup? Yes, I did. He's like, well, let me look at it. And he's like, can we try this? Sure, we can try that. And then he goes, can I put you on a brief hold? Went to go get another manual, I guess, from somebody else. It did not work. His grand solution was, and I'm surprised this worked. He goes, you're going to need to delete your app on your phone. And I'm like, what does that have to do? You know what? I'm up for anything. I've been on the phone with you for an hour now. Apparently, the Google Home app does not self-update itself. You have to manually update it. And the only way you can do that is by deleting it and then re-logging into it.
That is stupid for a company like Google.
That's the most Google thing I've heard all day, though.
And that must be an Android issue, because I also have Google Home things, cameras, doorbell, all that kind of stuff. And I've not had that problem. Like, I've actually seen the app update itself, like watched it do the update on my phone.
It was a completely different version of what was being updated. Because like I went to look at it prior to this, like, is there a problem? And it's like, no, your app is up to date. But apparently having to delete it and then redo it installed a completely different version that I could not update to. So I was just flabbergasted at that. And for some reason, the reason why the old part or the old app version wasn't working is there was some system that wasn't allowing it to add it to a pre-existing account. So I ended up just having to download the app again, then delete everything. So all video history that I had saved, basically had to completely factory reset the camera and wipe that was ever a part of my home, which is really cool when you have a surveillance system, having to delete the surveillance part of it. Because at that point, it's just a fun camera to show people. So all of my video surveillance is gone for the past 90 days.
Nice.
And which is like, I doubt anything is going to be missing that I need, but it's kind of also one of those things that seems like a big flaw when you're selling a security system, to have to delete that function of it. And so, yeah, no, after I deleted it and had to delete the app, remove it from my, actually, though, the first one, he had to go into his side and delete it off of my account. I couldn't do it myself. He had to. And so it's just like that. You seem like y'all are working against yourselves here. But after an hour and a half, we got one camera set up. And I was just like, this is insane. And then I was like, you know what? While you're here, I can get the other cameras done. What about my doorbell? That was about a 20-minute process to get the doorbell reset. Because once again, you have to factory reset the doorbell, and he had to delete it from my account. I could not. I was like, I can't delete it. It will not let me. And he was like, well, have you tried? I was like, yes. Like, you have been on the phone with me this entire time. Yes, I have. And he's like, okay. And he goes, let me see if I can do it from my end. Puts me on a 2-3 minute hold. He goes, I talked to my supervisor and he will get it done. And I was like, why was I not talking to the supervisor this entire time? Like, at this point, you have gone to him 5 times in this call. After call 2, you just send me his way. And so he was able to get it off my account. I had to wait something like 5 minutes for it to show on my end and then get it taken care of, add the new one. And then at that point, I mean, it's almost a 2-hour phone call with this guy. It's lunchtime now. And I was like, man, I will get the rest set up. I've got to go to work. Bye. And he's like, okay, I'm going to put you to a call, or I'm going to put you to a survey. And I hung up. I was like, nope, you do not want a survey from me right now.
I don't think you want my answers right now.
That is not what you should have said.
Imagine how upset Austin would have been if he would have missed his opportunity to be the hero on the first 48 by providing the doorbell camera footage that catches the criminal because all of his last 90 days were gone. But no, you touched on probably my biggest gripe. Well, okay, let me not say my biggest gripe. There are so many with my current internet company. What you just talked about with the survey. So it's more than just that, though, with my internet company. They've got like a whole sequence or a whole script they say at the end. So they start out with the basic, can we help you with anything else? You say no. Okay, well, you sure? Because we can do this, this, and this. I'm like, listen, I called you about an issue. We've maybe most likely not solved the issue, but we've done what we can, scheduled a call, whatever. Then they want to go into the whole, thank you for being a valued customer. We appreciate you calling. We hope you're happy with the service you have. Have we resolved your issue today? And then go to a survey with the same questions. And I never do the survey. That's probably why they ask me on the call, because they know I ain't doing that shit. And they don't want me to do the survey, honestly, after most of my calls with them, because one of the questions is always, how likely are you to recommend X company to a friend or a neighbor? Like, fucking 0. Can I put 0? Because it's not possible. I will not do it.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Hey, will you take a survey about our customer service? Well, 9 times out of 10, the customer service is dog shit. And you're not going to improve it because you just are outsourcing it to the cheapest bidder. So why would I take a survey for you?
Well, and do surveys to the people who are calling in for, like, to set up services. Don't ask the people who are calling in with issues about doing a survey. They're not going to be happy. I'm not going to ask the guy that just called me cussing me out for a 5-star review.
Right. You're asking somebody who's already pissed off because their stuff doesn't work to then give you an honest survey. Yeah, that's going to go poorly.
I mean, if they got the issue fixed in a timely manner, I can understand it. But if they didn't fix the issue, it's a bold claim to.
Well, but with internet stuff, 80% of the time, it's somebody who has like 3 things max that they can actually try to do that almost never work because they're all stuff that we've already done, such as resetting the router. Like with my internet provider, I can actually send a whole, like an actual refresh where it shuts it off without actually being unplugged. It like resets the whole router and all of the equipment, or just basic stuff, right? Past that, they're going to schedule somebody. So chances are the problem is not going to be solved then and there on the phone anyways. Not always, at least. But again, maybe they have a reason for doing it. I just don't get it.
I doubt that was my point as well. It's like 9 times out of 10, the problem isn't actually fixed, and yet you're going to ask me for a survey. You don't want to hear my feedback.
Exactly.
Right. Y'all, even if you do, you're not going to do anything with it. You're like,
I was going to say, they're not doing anything.
We got an upset customer. Oh, well.
Yeah. So
I got to post that on your website. Look at the negative review we got from this guy.
Survey says they hate us.
But did they post a Google review? No? Other people can't see it? Don't care.
Irrelevant.
Oh, it doesn't even really matter. Apparently, Google reviews are now being hidden. Like certain types of reviews from Google are now automatically being hidden, and people are trying to figure out why.
Yeah, our company's sending out a bunch of emails right now of trying to figure out the best way to utilize them and get them to stay and all this stuff. So we're seeing quite a lot of that at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of surveys, or on a more corporate side, testimonials.
Are we going to survey our audience?
Oh. Right.
Not quite a survey. It was more a company that we use that I don't want to say partnered with, but we use their services within our company. It's something that I set up. I've talked about it on the podcast, the AI Intake Agent. They're one of the founders of that company wanted to come to our headquarters and meet with us. And by us, primarily me and the managing partner, and then one of the members of my team, the intake team. So the problem with this is they've talked about this in the past and doing this and wanting to come see us, but they're based in London. So it was much easier said than done. Well, they finally decided, hey, we're going to be in the US. Let's make a trip. The problem with that, I was notified on Tuesday of them being in the US. and told that the only day they could make it was Friday. And I was like, well, that's awfully short notice because we like to accommodate people and we want to take them out to lunch and make sure that we show them the attention they deserve and be able to show them, let them meet with as many people as they want and spend as much time on things as they want, especially with a company like this where they're out of the country. So we don't get to see them that often. But either way, I was like, if you're here for a limited time, I know it's already difficult, we'll make it work. Well, immediately I run into what's going to be a problem with this is that we also have another law firm that chose to visit on this same Friday, and they had a whole day planned out with them. And by they, I mean one of the core people who was the managing partner was going to be spending the day with them. And that was two of the things they wanted to achieve were to get a testimonial from me, like a video, and from our managing partner. And I told them that. So his time may be limited, but I'm happy to accommodate you as best as possible. I'll spend all day with you if that's what you want. And they were like, that's fine. We'll make it work. So I hardly hear anything on Wednesday. And I'm sitting here like, okay, what's happening? Well, is the plan still to come? And they would just be like, yep, he still plans on showing up on Friday. But that's all I'm hearing. Well, Thursday morning, the day before they plan on visiting, and by Thursday morning, it was really about 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'd already been working for 2 hours. I get an email that says, hey, Tyler, he's going to be there tomorrow, and we are looking for a videographer to come capture the testimonials. And I'm thinking, okay, I was thinking, maybe do we set up one little camera, record us two talking, something simple, even on iPhones nowadays, because the video quality on them is so good that would be plenty. And I said, well, what kind of video are we thinking here? This is very short notice, lack of planning. I worry it's not going to be good. Well, they sent me a video that's on YouTube from another company that we use, and they made a video 2 years ago, very high production level, very professional, B-roll of like the partners and meetings going on and walking through the firm and all sorts of different stuff. And I essentially send back, that's ambitious. I love the idea. This isn't something you planned the day before, though. Like this specific video was probably weeks in planning. And he was like, either way, we'll make the best out of it. I was like, all right, that's fine. And so the day goes on. I don't hear anything until 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Mind you, we close at 5. I get off at 5. And they're in London. Well, one of them is in New York at this point. But they're in London, the guy I'm communicating with. So it's super late for him. And he says, okay, he will be there tomorrow at 3:30. He would like to spend an hour with you, with our managing partner, our GM, and the intake member. I said, well, first of all, we close at 5 o'clock. 3:30 only gives us about an hour and a half, and you just asked for an hour with 4 people. That ain't mathin'. So with some very quick planning, I am dreading this visit because I'm thinking this is not going to go well. I already know that a lot of people that don't visit the U.S. often completely underestimate the time it takes to travel around the U.S. So I am immediately thinking he's not even going to get here at 3:30. It's probably going to be closer to 4. That did turn out to be true. But either way, I'm just trying to stay as positive as possible. I'm like, we're just going to make this work. So Friday comes around. He shows up at 4 o'clock. The videographers that he hired showed up like 2 hours earlier than him. And I will give it to these two guys. They were very young. You could tell they had just started getting into the business, but they had good quality equipment. They were very professional. Fully impressed by these guys.
That's cool.
And I do think the video itself is going to turn out to be pretty good. But that's not the exciting part of this story. So he shows up. We make the best out of the time. I did a whole testimonial video. And if it turns out good, it's going to be because of the videographers, because they had a great lighting setup, great camera setup, a boom mic, which first time I've ever got to use one of those that I wasn't like actually mic'd up on me.
I've always wanted to get one of those for some of the stuff we do.
Yeah, it was. I hope it turns out good. I'm excited to see it. But again, we're putting all this into like an hour and a half. Now, I did stay until about 6 o'clock. I told them I would be willing to stay a little later so they could get stuff with the other people who I was not going to ask to stay late, especially not that short a notice.
And on a Friday.
Exactly. On a Friday, no less, right? So we get done with everything. And me and this guy are just sitting here talking. When he's sitting here on his phone and I see him like start to get a little nervy. And I'm like, everything okay? And so now I want to preface this because this guy he lives in London, but he's actually originally from Ukraine. So he already has an accent that's kind of difficult to understand. And I'm like, is everything okay? He was like, yep, just sorting out transportation. Now, I need to say, I think I've said it on the podcast before. Y'all all know this, but I live in a very small town in North Carolina. Very small. And what comes with a small town is some of the amenities aren't quite as nice because there's just not a market for them. One of those amenities is Uber and Lyft. I don't think we might have one driver around, and he's probably not going to take anything that's more than a 20-mile drive, right? So, and I was like, well, what do you mean by that? Because I had assumed this whole time that he had rented a vehicle because he flew into the Charlotte airport, which is about an hour from us. And I assumed he had rented a vehicle this whole time because I didn't see him get dropped off or anything. He was like, well, I'm trying to get an Uber or a Lyft. And he's sitting here on his phone, just flipping back and forth between the two apps because he's like put in a request and nobody's responding. Keep in mind, it's already like 6:00 at this point. He has a flight in Charlotte at 9:30. And so I'm like, dude, you're going to have a harder time of that than you think you are. You're probably not going to get a ride. And so he was like, well, what else do I do? I was like, well, there's a rental car company. Sure enough, I looked them up. They close at 5. It's a Friday, right? They're out of here. They're not sticking around. And so I'm like, dude, this guy's screwed. Like, somebody's going to have to take him to Charlotte. I can't do it tonight. There's nobody else in the office. Everybody else is gone. It's just me and him. And I'm like, honestly, at one point he said, what do I do? And I was like, buddy, I don't know. Like, you're shit out of luck, I think. I pull up my phone. Yeah, exactly. Right. So I pull up my phone and I start looking just for transportation near me. Well, I see something that I had no idea existed in my little small town. It was something called Premier Transportation. They didn't have a website. I don't even think they had a Facebook page. It was just a phone number on a Google ad. And it was like a picture of a house. Like, you know how they have the Google ad pictures? It was like just a picture of a house. So I call this person and I'm fully expecting him not to pick up. Sure enough, the guy picks up, and this is what I hear. He goes, I didn't hear anything at first, and I say, hello? He said, transportation, this is Derek, what you want? And I was like, no way. What have I just gotten into? I was like, hey, Derek, my name's Tyler. I'm trying to think, how do I explain what's happening here? And I was like, I've got a business associate with me who needs to get to Charlotte. I don't even know if you do that kind of thing. Is there any way you can help? He was like, shit, I don't know.
Great start to this whole thing.
And I'm like, and he's like the founder of the company. I'll just say his name's Nikita. Y'all aren't going to be able to find the guy. His name's Nikita. Nikita looks at me and he's like trying to figure out, gauge what's happening. And I just kind of shake my head because I'm like, this ain't happening. And he Derek sits there on the phone for a few minutes and he was like, I can be there in about 45 minutes. And I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, he's still going to be pushing it. But I was like, listen, give me a few minutes, Derek. What do you charge? All this. He goes, and this is exactly what he said. He said, to Charlotte Airport tonight, 175 plus gratuity, which he ain't got to, but he should. But he should. So either way, I said, give me a few minutes. Let me call you back, Derek. So Nikita keeps spazzing on his phone trying to get Uber or Lyft. And I told him, he was like, God, and that is expensive. I mean, it's almost $200. So,
see, I thought for basically a hire car, I actually thought that was pretty cheap. I was expecting
for
like $400.
An hour and a half away
from
Charlotte.
Very well may be pretty cheap. An hour from Charlotte Airport. Yeah. But either way, because I think he was basing it on his Uber in costed about $110 or something. So either way, another 10, 15 minutes passed.
His Uber that doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I can't believe he even got one from Charlotte to here in the first place.
Well, they'll take you places. It's just having one pick you up is the problem.
Yeah. So either way, a few minutes passed. He's like, yeah, go ahead and call that guy. Get him here. I was like, all right. So I called Derek again. Same exact thing. This transportation, this is Derek. What you want? I'm like, yo, Derek, this is... And at this point, I've relaxed. I'm not, hey, this is Tyler with...
yo,
what up, Derek? This is Tyler.
County experience.
Yo, what up, Derek? How it do? What it do? Yeah, so... I was like, Derek, can you still get here? He was like, I'm scrambling on my way right now. Be there as soon as I can. I was like, bet. We'll see you in a few, Derek. Well, we're waiting on Derek to get there. And he actually got there 10 minutes earlier than he said he would. So props to you. But I just we're kind of just standing. We're still inside the office, but we're standing near the front door so we can see. I shit you not. When this blacked out, GMC Denali pulls up, had to be 26-inch chrome rims. I mean, ginormous on this car. Probably rode like shit because they were low profile tires on it too. I'm pretty sure it was a little lifted. The only thing that would have made it more just like, I don't even know the term, but just like maxed out would have if it had spinners on the thing. Like it was just these big old massive, in my opinion, gaudy rims.
I wish it had the squat. It should have had the squat too, man.
That would have been even better, right? And he pulls up.
God.
Derek jumps out, and I was not prepared for this in any way, shape, or form. Derek can't be taller than like 5'9", heavier set black guy, and he is wearing a full-blown tuxedo. Not a suit, a tuxedo.
Heck yeah. Attaboy, Derek.
It's Premier Transportation.
Premier
Transportation. And Derek walks up, and he looks at me. He's like, "You Nikita?" I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm Tyler." And he walks up, he daps me up, basically gives me a hug. He's like, "I'm Derek. Good to see you, brother." He was like, "Nikita," and points at him, like points him out, turns around, like wastes zero time. Pulls open the back door, virtually pushes him in there, slams the door behind him, turns around, hands me a card. I was like, Derek knows what's up. He's marketing. And peels out of the parking lot before I even realized, like, and he's gone. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I couldn't even believe it was real for a moment. But him getting out of that car and, like, climbing out of it, right? Even more because he's a shorter guy. It's a tall truck or car. In a full-blown tuxedo was the last thing that I was ever expecting to happen. So Derek is my new favorite person in Rutherford County.
He was scrambling. That's what he was doing. He was putting on that cummerbund.
Have you heard from Nikita since?
I have not. That blew my mind too. I figured I would hear from him. I have heard from the other founder.
Have you heard from Derek since?
Derek hasn't called me to say, "Yo, we never met." So
okay.
I think he made it there alive.
You should call Derek. You should call Derek. I want to follow up on this. This
Monday
is
I will call, or tomorrow I will call Derek and just check in, and tell him thank you, because he really was. It was awesome. Honestly, it was so much better than if an Uber had just come and picked him up, because Derek really was a hero. So, but the funny thing is, all I'm picturing is Derek, who was extremely just what you want on the phone, and then 175 plus gratuity. It's up to him, but he should. Riding in the car with Nikita, whose accent you can hardly understand anyways. I can only imagine how that hour-long conversation went. I honestly was very tempted to just get in with him.
I'll go for a ride with you guys.
The European mind cannot comprehend Rutherford County, North Carolina.
And even more so Derek from Rutherford County.
So next time, listeners, next time you're in Rutherford County, give Derek a call.
Please do.
We fully endorse his services.
We here at Roundabout fully endorse Derek from Premier Transportation. Good friend of the program.
I might call Derek next time I need to go to Walmart.
I was going to say, I'm wondering, can I get him if I fly in for Extra Life 1 year? Will he drive me to Mike's house? Can I get Derek to come pick me up?
I will remind me of this County. For the 24. I will pay Derek whatever it costs, and I will ride with him to pick you up from the airport.
That sounds like a good time to me.
Dude, me and we might not even make it. Me, you, and Derek might just go out on the town.
We're just going to go somewhere else.
That sounds exactly like something that would happen. It's just we ain't even got to get there tonight. We ain't in a rush. What can we do? And then y'all just fucking go out on the town.
I bet Derek knows Charlotte like the back of his hand, too, for some strange reason.
Mike's going to call us an hour into Extra Life. Where are y'all? Don't worry about it. We've got stories for the next 10 podcasts. We got this.
Why can't I barely understand you guys?
Yeah, August Extra Life. It's going to be me and Shane wondering where everybody is.
Somehow Brittle met us where we got to with Derek.
But I promise you, Nikita will never leave an airport again without having transportation planned beforehand.
That's one thing
because I could see it in his face.
That I can't believe is that the man got a flight 4 days, got there, and didn't bother the transportation to get home. He got everything else there.
He's been in New York. He flew from LaGuardia at 12 o'clock to Charlotte, drove straight to our office to stay for 2 hours, 2.5 maybe, and then drive back to Charlotte to get on another plane to go back to LaGuardia. He just didn't realize he was going in the middle of BFE.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he was in New York, I can understand why he didn't know that he needed transportation, because you absolutely can be in New York without ever renting a car and get anywhere you want to.
Yeah. Well, and you could almost argue the same where he's from in London, right? So,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did not realize where he was coming to in the U.S. And I get it. You know, small town, you're not prepared for it. So, and I'm pretty sure I don't know the area.
You could probably do a little bit of research and go, oh, I wonder where this is.
Right.
That's my thing.
It's an hour outside. It's an hour outside of the big city. It doesn't look like it's very big. Maybe getting transportation is going to be difficult.
Well, they clearly knew about Southern hospitality because they tried to take advantage at one point in that morning. I've not spoken to Nikita near as much as Ivan, who is the other founder. He's much more involved in the day-to-day of the company. He's the CEO, essentially. So I've talked to him plenty since we've worked together. And he reached out to me early that morning when I was like, 3:30 is still late. Like, this is going to be tough to get all this in. And he said, well, I see y'all have an office in Charlotte if it's easier to meet there. And I'm like, yeah, let me just tell all of these people 3.5 hours beforehand to just pick up. Let's drive to Charlotte to meet Nikita. So it's just, we are happy to accommodate. And I feel like we did a very good job with the limited amount of time. But if they would have had it that way, we would have ended up in London to do these testimonials. So at some point I had to be like, okay, listen, this was y'all's idea to do this last minute. We'll make it work, but you got to give me a little something too. We got to meet in the middle somewhere here. But all things considered, it did go well. But I'm telling you, the look on his face when I told him you're probably not going to get an Uber or a Lyft here was priceless, because Buddy was like, I'm stranded in Hicktown, USA. Like,
yes, sir, you are.
Oh,
the banjo sounds in his head are just getting louder.
Towards the end, yeah, basically, right? So when the videographers were all packing up right before they left, he offered to pay them, and he was like, nah, buddy, I'm going the other way. And it was like another just very Southern response. It wasn't like super professional and polished. It was something to that effect of, nah, buddy, I'm going the other way. Like, I'm not going that way.
I ain't going that way.
Yeah. So, but it was a great experience. I'm excited to see the video. I'll have to share it with y'all once it comes out, and I hope it turns out well. But Derek was the highlight of that entire day, and I gotta find a way to thank Derek. I need to. Maybe I should buy him some rim polish.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
A clay bar or something for his truck.
A thoughtful gift. Yep. It was a pretty car though. I just the rims were a little too much for me personally. Tuxedo was right in line though.
I was gonna say you need to buy him like a gift card to a tuck shop.
Mm-hmm.
The dry cleaner. Pay for his dry cleaning.
Yeah, there you
go. Go get you a new cummerbund.
Yeah. Oh, what a guy.
Gosh, that's hilarious. Just I'm just imagining the European mind trying to wrap their brain around a squatted Denali. You didn't say it was squatted, but in my head it's squatted.
In my head canon.
Right? Like with the damn rubber band chromed out 36s.
So Ivan has been wanting to come see us, the other founder. He's been having a hard time, I believe, getting his visa or something to that effect. I don't know exactly what stopped him from coming to the U.S., but I'm sure Nikita's going to go back and be like, Ivan, do not do it. Don't go there.
Don't go anywhere but there.
They tried to kidnap me.
Yeah, do not do it.
Go anywhere in Louisiana, but don't go there.
Oh my gosh.
Buddy thought he learned what the bayou was Friday. And he wasn't even close. I think I've seen this in Westerns.
Right, yeah.
He lived Deliverance.
I was going to say, recommend him Deliverance next time. Yeah.
He was going to have to go sleep in the saloon next door.
The Appalachian experience.
Well, the funny thing was if he would have like caved and been like, all right, I'll just postpone my flight and stay here a night, he would have really been in for shell shock if he would have been like, where's the nearest hotel? Well, do you want the Motel 6 or 8? Take your pick.
Right. Do you want to sleep with rats or roaches?
Yeah. Sir, I don't think you're looking for a hotel. I think you're looking for a motel.
Do y'all have a chain hotel in Rutherford?
We do. There's a Marriott here. It's fairly recent though that they built it. If you're familiar with the Equestrian Center that they built in Tryon not too terribly long ago, they held the World Equestrian Games, which I need to write that down right now because that's a story for another podcast. But they brought the World Equestrian Games to Rutherford County, which I will just say now before going too into detail was a shit show. And they built a few hotels for that in surrounding areas.
Exposing horse people to the Red Roof Inn.
I say, are they gonna do it more frequently? What?
Oh, no, that's a one and done.
It's just pop-up hotels for a one-time event.
They tried, man.
Yeah,
they
tried. It's just like, so you have to understand that the World Equestrian Games are like the Olympics for horses.
Yeah, I got that.
I'm sure some of the building got subsidized.
Well, and those hotels paid off, though, after Helene came through, because that's where a lot of the workers were staying that they brought in from other states to help with the hurricane cleanup. So they've gotten their money.
That's fair.
I'll have to tell y'all that a story another day, though, because it did not go. When I say it genuinely is like you said you know this, but it genuinely is like the Olympics for horses. And there were teams from, Brazil, Spain, France, Italy, like all over the world here for that. And again, Brittle, you talk about the European mind comprehending. I think they had like a good 6 weeks of just what the hell is going on. So
beautiful.
I love that for them.
Yeah.
Well, it's my turn to tell a story now because everybody else has told a story today. It's nothing crazy. I got mistaken for Baker Mayfield today at the grocery store.
What was that person on?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I went to Publix today. Today's my productivity day. Get the chores done, go to the grocery store, all that. And I had to go to Publix to get a can opener because I somehow managed to lose my can opener in my move 2 months ago, and just now needed a can opener. So I went in there. I had I'm wearing black and red shirt, black shorts. I had a ball cap on. So, and it was, kind of low, but it wasn't like I was hiding my face or anything. I'm just there in the aisle, and this lady damn near walks up to me and goes, "I thought you were Baker Mayfield." I was like, "Thanks." It was a good laugh, and I felt really good about myself afterwards, but I had never had that one happen before to me.
What? Did you have any follow-up questions with this person?
Nope. I was just like,
because
I'm not him.
I was thinking, number one, why would Baker Mayfield be there?
Well,
Tampa's Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but Tampa's
an hour away.
An hour away. I know, but it's like, I don't know. To me, I'm just thinking that'd be like me thinking one of the Dallas Cowboys was walking in a grocery store where I live, just because we live in Texas. Now I know Texas is big, but it just like, somewhat of a proximity, like that kind of a proximity.
Listen, maybe he's got a quiet. He prefers a quiet town on the outer edges of Tampa. I didn't question. I just thought it was funny and flattering.
Also, you look nothing like him.
That's kind of what I was.
That was my follow-up. My question would have been like, what about me gives that vibe?
I think it was more the color.
White.
I think the picture I just posted is fairly recently, where he has quite close trimmed hair while you're currently rocking a mullet. So not sure how that works.
Hey.
Otherwise, I almost can see like some of the facial structure could be similar. But yeah, from what I'm seeing here, Baker Mayfield currently resides in the Davis Islands waterfront community. I don't know how far that is from you.
Not to dox Baker Mayfield.
Well, this is public record.
His address is
Davis Islands is like on the bay. Like that is Tampa proper. So I'm not getting anywhere near that.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, you think I'm doxing him. Here's an article from crazyluxuryhomes.com.
Here you go. I've created the best image possible. I think you're really going to like this one, boys.
Nailed it. You know what? I see it now.
Now you see it.
I'm
now
on
you
her
get it.
side.
That was the only picture of Brittle I just had lying around.
That's funny. I'll make sure. If you're curious, the pictures we just posted, they will be in the video podcast.
I see where the inspiration for that signature salute came from.
Right. I have to get one, Nicole. Is this what you used?
Yeah, that was
this your inspiration?
Why is Brittle doing quotation fingers with his? I've never paid attention to it before. Now it looks like your fingers are like doing the quotation hands.
Listen, your finger pads. Maybe my finger pads got stung by a bee. I don't know.
With the Baker Mayfield with the beard, I can kind of see. I don't know if he currently has the beard or not. I don't know how recent of a picture that is that Michael posted.
Listen, I did not question the legitness of the comparison. I was just flattered that it happened.
I'm not like so shocked by it. When I was working at Office Depot 1 year, well, I worked there for a year, but one time I was working at the tech department fixing old people's computers, and this old lady told me I look like Jake Gyllenhaal, and I was like, I'm just gonna take the compliment. Yeah,
that's
no joke.
Quite the stretch.
I was like, I don't, but you know what? Sure. It's like, hey, you look like Jake Gyllenhaal. I remember going home after that day, looking in the mirror and being like, what?
Do I really?
Do I?
What?
Well, she was older, so her eyesight was probably going. Everything's a little fuzzy.
Ma'am, have you ever seen Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
I think it was the red. Yeah, I think it was the red and the black that I was wearing because that's Tampa Bay colors. So it just immediately put that in her mind. And then
That's fair.
A somewhat similar facial structure. I can see it.
Of course you can.
Listen, I look like a NFL quarterback. I'm not taking it. You can't take that away from me.
Sure I can. Have you met me?
If you met me, I'm me.
But Austin, you talk about me doxing him. I just posted a link to an article from crazyluxuryhomes.com that literally has pictures of his $9.4 million home in Tampa, Florida. So I don't think I'm the one doxing him here. This is all public record with sources.
I'm just saying,
Just
man.
clicked on that. That is a very pretty home, though.
It is a really nice house.
Yeah.
And like the picture of the front, front, you can see the numbers. Like that, the house number there on the column. So, wasn't me.
Go get him.
Brittle, go visit him.
It was
like, hey,
it was written by. It was written by Sophia Chen.
What's up, twin?
What's up? What up, twin?
What up, twin? you will not believe how many people think I'm you. It's been one,
it
but
happens all the time.
It's been once, but you know,
in the last 6 hours alone, it happened.
Yeah.
It's happened more than zero.
Right.
I know we're getting close to time for this episode, but there's something that is sort of kind of time sensitive that I just want to throw out there because this caught me off guard today. As when I got home, Gray has been enjoying watching me play Forza Horizon, which is fun. It's great. It's great to entertain kids because there's 7,000 cars in that game that you can race, and I've got a Jeep that he likes me to drive around in. But I saw something on the Xbox app that I got very excited about and then immediately was questioning what Xbox is doing. How they have now on the Xbox app on your PC, on the Game Pass, the Halo campaign Evolved, which, as a lot of people should know, is huge game to both me and Mike. I mean, it kind of how our friendship blossomed was over playing Halo a lot and playing soccer. And so the remaster of the first Halo game is coming out. And if you haven't seen anything about it, it looks phenomenal. It's basically, they just did the first Halo game and just did it all over again. Updated engine, updated graphics, a lot of just updated. I mean, they just updated the game. It's like they just took that game and remade it in modern time.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about it is it truly is remade because they've moved away from the Bungie Slipspace engine and are using Unreal 5, which means they're having to re-architect almost everything about it.
Right.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how it actually plays.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen screenshots like when they first announced that it was being a thing, and I remember I looked at it, I was like, this is either gonna do one of two things. It's either gonna really just fuel that nostalgia, but like have it modern, or it's gonna make people really appreciate what they originally did by comparison, because it's either gonna be great or it's not, and I doubt there's going to be like a meh. People are either going to love or hate it. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why it gives me, or in their little card for it, it says Halo Campaign Evolved, pre-install now, which I was like, oh, it must be right around the corner. I didn't know that it was this close. I thought it was going to be somewhere. Available in 49 days and 14 hours.
Yep.
Why would I pre-install a game almost 2 months from its release?
I think we'll get to play it for Extra Life if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Actually. Because I think it comes out, July 28th? Did I read that right?
I don't know. 14. How many is 14 days? 13 hours and 52 minutes.
So actually, I think that's going to be pretty close.
So yeah, we can play it for our end of July after hours. Wow. Extra Life. Yeah, or after hours. But why give the option to pre-install something that is over a month and a half out? What is the benefit?
I've got to imagine it probably isn't available July 28th. I gotta imagine it's not even done. So like, what are you even installing?
Right. You're pre-installing something that it probably still needs polish. That is an insane amount of time out of the purview of anyone. I could pre-install this thing and my brain is going to forget about it 3 weeks down the road. And then I'm going to look at it again and be like, oh, I could go ahead and pre-install that and realize I did it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What's the choice here? What's the decision being made?
I think the biggest thing is just I guess.
Get it in front of people now. And there's going to be a day zero patch anyway. So it really doesn't matter. And this might be actually what it is. It may literally just be like a 5 megabyte license file that downloads and says you get to download this when the time comes.
Well, and a big part of it, Austin, I think you're not necessarily the market they're looking to hit with that. You know about it. You're going to know about it. You're going to download it when it's there. They're hoping other people do the same thing you just did that didn't necessarily know about it and now know when this game releases. Even if in the moment they're annoyed, but
advertise that it's coming. Don't give me this weird, like, you can go ahead and pre-download it, but guess what? 2 months, you gotta wait. That blew my mind. Like, I just can't figure that one out.
Pre-ordering makes sense. Pre-downloading,
it is odd.
At this point, you do a pre-download 7 days out.
Max.
7 days
Max.
out. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
2 days out is like a good pre-download because you're obviously still going to be finding little bugs here and there before it releases.
Yeah, but you're probably mostly content complete. So the bulk of the download 7 days out, like the bulk of the files aren't going to change. You might change a handful of things here and there, and those things are going to change it with a day zero patch anyway, right? So it's not. Odds are you're still going to make a download and then download a patch. So if it's 7 days out or day of, it just is what it is. But yeah, I mean, to do one 49 days out is kind of absurd.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
There's the new roundabout betting pool, though. How many days in advance will we be able to pre-download GTA 6?
I don't know. I don't know that Rockstar is lunatics.
Well, so what's going to happen is we're gonna pre-download it a week out, and then they're going to push the release date another 6 months. So we'll be able to pre-download it about half a year before you can actually
I pre-downloaded it in 2013.
I don't know. They seem to be on their timeline. Well, I say if...
What is it now, November?
November. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been that way.
And they have reaffirmed that a couple times now as well.
They pushed that, February? January,
yes.
February?
Yeah, February is their original. No, it was longer ago than that because February was their original release target, and I believe they pushed from that date last November.
I thought May was their original.
Which was the original.
I thought May was.
No, they've done it in... Well, okay, it may have been May, and they pushed it in February.
Stop tossing around this word original, because that was like back in 2022.
Well, I thought the original was November of 2025, and they pushed it back 6 months, and everyone got excited, and then in February, they pushed it back another 6 months.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I was thinking it was February, but it may have been May.
Yeah, fall of 2025 is when it was originally targeted for. It doesn't say a specific month, but yeah.
At this point, is a major title making their deadline ominous or relieving?
Honestly, okay, one thing I will give them for this is that they are pushing back the release rather than releasing it early access, which most people are doing. Unfinished, they know they have stuff to work on. They don't have all the stuff implemented, which for like the indie developers, that works. Like the popular game we like to play, Jump Space. It's all early access, but it's an indie developer. It's like 4 guys making that game. And so that makes sense. But when these AAA titles come out unfinished, that kills me. Like, what else do you have to do with your time? Like that is why you are AAA, is to make these titles and release them. I will give it to Rockstar, be like, we want to make sure that the game is what it's supposed to be on release.
Yeah.
So if we have to push it back, we're going to. So this to me is annoying as it is, because everyone wants GTA 6. It is a good move to delay the release, because they know if they released it originally, it would, like, people would just dog on it. It's unfinished. It needed something before it happened. So it's like, this is the one time I've ever heard, like, personally, of a release being delayed that I'm like, okay, great. Like, finish it. Make sure it is the game it needs to be, because we've already waited 10 years. Like, one more year isn't going to kill me. Just make it the game it needs to be.
Might.
No, I will kill me in 1 year. Not this.
George R.R. Martin fans are just crying on the sidelines right now.
Well, the Dragons are on their way, Tyler.
He hasn't actually set a release date. That's the problem.
Well, and also, you don't have to do bug fixes on a book.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that what editors are for?
Yeah, not fixing? After release. Well, I mean, they do revise, but yeah, you're right. There is no excuse that man can throw out now. But I know you just misspoke, but if we do have Extra Life After Hours, buddy, Derek's coming.
Oh, no.
Hey, Extra Life After Hours is what takes place from like 1 to 6 a.m.
Right. That's when Austin tells stories about getting waxed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He wants to talk about my butthole. Anyways, we don't have time for that. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Roundabout Podcast. This was a good one. I enjoyed that. Episode 50 was a good 50 for me. I don't know about you guys.
I missed talking to y'all the last week and a half. Like, I missed doing this. That's how much I enjoy doing these. Like, I've looked forward to doing this all day, and it lived up to it.
In a shell of a house on an Xbox headset.
Well,
and a folding chair. And a folding chair.
And a long chair.
And a folding chair. Yeah. A nice red camping chair. It has 2 of them.
Takes you back to your college days.
Yeah. No, I had nicer stuff in college.
Well, oof. Brag about it, why don't you? Some of us didn't go to college. Anyways, thank you for listening. As always, please rate, review, like, share this with the people who you like or don't like. This would be a great icebreaker, I think. You know, a lot of our podcasts would be a great thing to like send to someone you dislike because we're terrible. This is a good episode. Maybe it'll be a bridge for you and them. But you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We're Roundabout Pro. You can find us at YouTube, Twitter, and Blue Sky. That is Roundabout Gaming. And every week we stream. This last week we had half of us because Mike was moving, and I decided to get a respiratory infection. Yeah, that's what it was. The day of, so I could hardly speak, but you can find that at Twitch at Roundabout Pro. Once again, YouTube is Roundabout Gaming, and we stream on Instagram. Once again, that is Roundabout Pro. So come hang out with us. Come talk to us live. Let us know how you felt about your internet, because God, I bet y'all have some great internet stories, because everyone does, as we have cleared on this podcast. But also tell us about, I'm not going to, they'll tell us about Derek. I want it to be a mystery. If you have used Derek's services, you keep that to yourself and you lock that away.
You and Derek.
That's between you and Derek. Do not ruin the sanctity of that moment. But please come talk with us, and we will see y'all next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.